Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 558 of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Let's get to the biggest bombastic update today in terms of the Snyder Cut, but really all about Justice League. Ray Fisher came out yesterday, or the day before rather, to retract some statement he had at San Diego Comic-Con in regards to Joss Whedon. Well, now today he's taking it a step further. That's right, he's taking it a step further. Ray Fisher slams Joss Whedon today. Joss Whedon and co, really. Geoff Johns and John Berg included. Let's take a look. All right, so this is the tweet that came out today. Ray Fisher, Joss Whedon's on-set treatment of the cast and crew of Justice League was gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable. He was enabled in many ways by Geoff Johns and John Berg. Accountability is greater than entertainment. There you have it. Ray Fisher dropping a huge truth bomb today. And hopefully not risking his career. Hopefully people are championing this and people are indeed championing this. Maybe more stars, cast, and crew members will come out of this. But it really needed to be said here, right? He was not treated good. I mean, the cast and crew wasn't treated good. They were abused, unprofessional acts of Joss Whedon, and you're like, what, really? But is it so hard to understand that by now with everything we've been telling you? Yes, Joss Whedon is a shitty person. That's right, he is. And it doesn't matter if he made your favorite Firefly show. It doesn't matter if he made your favorite Buffy show. It doesn't matter if you loved Avengers. He is still a crappy person. And it's showing more and more as more people come out against him. Right? And this is also backed by other people. Clay Enos, as you know, Clay Enos, the photographer who's worked with Zack Snyder, who's worked with the cast and crew, heard the same thing. He came out in support today. Thank you so much, Clay, for supporting Ray Fisher. Ray Fisher is doing a giant heavy lifting today, and I hope more and more comes out in support of that. Grace Randolph said this, yup, good for Ray Fisher to confirm. I've been reporting this to you regarding Whedon and Johns for some time, and I'm glad justice is finally being served with the Snyder Cut DCEU. She expanded on more, and as I also reported, it was Whedon and Johns who cut Ray Fisher pretty much out of the whole movie. So Fisher has an extra incentive to be upset. Oh my God. That's right. He cut him out of the whole movie. Now you wonder why Ray Fisher didn't want to do that own Cyborg movie, because that would still involve Geoff Johns in it. The heart of the movie was cut out because of Whedon and Geoff Johns. That's right. So Geoff Johns and John Berg both enabled Joss Whedon to let them do that. They allowed Whedon to do this, right? And they maybe even had a hand. Grace Randolph, continues. I doubt we'll ever get specifics from Ray Fisher regarding Joss Whedon. But here's one I was the first to report. Gal Gadot didn't want to film this scene, so Whedon did it with the stunt double. That's why you can't see her face. Jason LeBoy elaborates in a much more grotesque and added grotesqueness to this. He says, don't forget to add that he locked her in a room and threatened her career if she didn't do the scene. This is very important and should not be omitted. Joss Whedon locked a gal in a room, threatened her career if she didn't do the scene. What the actual fuck? is wrong with Joss Whedon? What? And you're like, who's Jason LeBoy? Jason LeBoy's been around for a while. He's a photographer, a professional photographer. He's been with the cast and crew, a lot of them. He's been around. He's talked to Ciaran Hinds. He's talked to Ray Fisher, Ezra Miller. He's been around, you know, and so all this information's been fed to him. And you remember him from the other years ago where he said that Geoff Johns was a scum of the earth. That's probably because he heard a lot from the cast and crew. Thomas Polito, one of those scoopers like Daniel RPK, said this: not at all shocked to hear this. Now, everyone who said Whedon was innocent and Ray was being unprofessional by retracting his earlier statement is going to have to eat their words. And while I love Geoff Johns, he had a hand in everything that happened, right? Jason LeBoy continues. Johns went as far to make his stupid ass jokes about the Snyder Cut during the filming of Wonder Woman 1984. What makes matters worse, he would say to Zack's dearest friends. Okay, and John Garza also elaborated, since this is out there, Geoff Johns also made fun of the Snyder Cut out loud in front of people. You all be digging your own fucking grave, okay? And you know who actually he does joke that to? Like he said it to Cleanos. He said it to Cleanos because Cleanos was a photographer on Wonder Woman 1984. It says, he laughs and says, oh, maybe they'll release the Snyder Cut, huh? That's what I heard. Yeah. So, what does John Berg have to say? Geoff Johns didn't say anything, didn't comment. Joss Whedon declined to comment, but John Berg did. John Berg responds to Ray Fisher's statement about Justice League. Sources from Variety article right here. It is categorically untrue that we enabled any unprofessional behavior. I remember Fisher being upset that we wanted him to say booyah, which is a well-known saying of Cyborg. I love Shiraz's. Shiraz's your response to that said this: disappointing but expected tone-deaf statement from John Berg, which actually helps to make Fisher's point about enabling. Bet he thought it was clever to conflate an abusive environment to booyah, but too late. Truth is here to stay. Take Ray Fisher's sincerity over Berg's arrogance. Yeah, so basically, John Berg, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up. You're an asshole. Admit it. You're an asshole. So John Berg, that's his stupid ass tweet, stupid ass comment right there to Variety. And it's going to come out. More and more will come out now. Yes, I agree. John Berg, Geoff Johns, Joss Whedon were all hired to do what they thought was best to fix Justice League, to appease the toxic bloggers who didn't like Snyder's work. Okay? Why am I doing toxic? They are toxic. Toxic bloggers who are negatively spitting Zack Snyder's work, making Zack Snyder look like the bad guy when they themselves are the fucking assholes in this. Okay? So fuck them. Damn. I mean, it just makes me so upset. It really does. And that's why I hope people are championing Ray Fisher right now, raising him up. He did a lot of heavy lifting today. Raise him up high. He deserves every one of our good graces. And I hope more people will come out. I mean, there already is. Like a lot of the other people from the Buffy times where I guess Joss Whedon fired an actress because she was pregnant. There's a lot of other people coming out about Joss Whedon's I mean, it's all over Twitter. Women coming out against Geoff Johns now. Not sure if that's true, but it seems to have opened up a big can of worms. And Geoff Johns, mostly Geoff Johns and Joss Whedon, are taking the brunt of it. So we'll see how this story develops as the days go on for that. Okay. So this is all interesting stuff, but let's not forget that there are other movies out there that we have yet to truly see, and that is David Ayer's Suicide Squad. For some reason, he is singing today. So today, David Ayer came out with the trailer for his newest movie, The Tax Collector, with Bobby Stone and Shia LaBeouf, or LaBeouf. I can never say that dude's last name, but at the same time, he really talking about Suicide Squad today, like really talking about Suicide Squad today, which I'm really truly happy for, and some of it even it shows even like some of the things that he never got to do or didn't do. So here we go. The first thing is this: when a fan named Patrick M said, "I just know David Ayer gave Killer Croc some more substantive moments than asking for BET in his jail cell. I want to see those moments." Release the Ayer cut, Killer Croc. Now, David Ayer did respond to this, and he says, "Well, that wasn't my line." Okay, so that wasn't my. Well, whose line was it? Who told you to put that line together? We'll never know. But someone says, "I see what you mean, sir. Beaten into comedy. I get it now." And then David responds to that, saying, "Maybe horsewhipped into a comedy is more correct." Yeah, they really did a number on Suicide Squad. Maybe not as much as Zack Snyder's Justice League, but it's still quite a number to that. But who did it, right? Who did it? Sam hinted out that maybe it's the dude with the ball cap, meaning Geoff Johns. David Ayer says, no, it wasn't Geoff Johns. So we can, clearly put that to rest. But it's still yet. Someone made him do it. It's probably the studio. They try to throw some comedic parts in it, trying to make it more fun, make it more funny. They wanted another Deadpool on their hands, but that's not David Ayer's style. That's not what he actually wanted, right? And there's some other things as well. There was supposed to be a parademon boss fight that got killed in prep. So it was a boss fight with Incubus. So that was the villain that was supposed to be in this cut. It was supposed to be a giant parademon boss fight. That would have been cool too, and it was still connected to Justice League in a way, but that was taken away in prep. They never did that, and they threw in some giant boss fight with some dude named Incubus. So unfortunate for that, because I'd rather have seen the parademons. I would rather have seen the parademon boss fights. I don't know if there is anything involved in order to get that back into the movie or not, but this current cut, apparently it's not in there. Though they asked, is there anything you can say regarding whether or not your cut exists? I mean, he already did say, but I guess he has to reiterate today. The cut definitely exists. You'll need to ask AT&T and HBO Max to let it see the sunlight. So there you have it. David Ayer again coming out with the whole thing about the Ayer cut and how we should really ask for it, and that ask for it, we will continue to do that with the Release the Ayer cut movement, right? There's a new movement, Release the Ayer cut. And I'm going to go to that site here. Of course, July 2nd, that is tomorrow. It's all about Captain Boomerang. Hashtag Captain Boomerang. Hashtag Release the Ayer cut at AT&T, HBO Max. Something that David Ayer actually seems to fully support about this, and I think we should definitely do this tomorrow if you can, throughout the day. If you can, just tweet out once or twice, whatever you can to celebrate, release the Ayer cut and celebrate the character Captain Boomerang. So be sure to check that out. Now, San Diego Comic-Con is coming. All right, let me change the logo there, banner there, and San Diego Comic-Con is coming. PSA, Comic-Con at home is coming up, and preparing is simple. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and tap the notification bell so you're set to see panels as soon as they're released. Plus, be sure to visit our website for more content to come. So that is great. I mean, that just shows that it's free. You don't have to register. You just got to subscribe to their YouTube channel right here. Go to their YouTube channel, subscribe, ring the bell, at least for the panels itself. I don't think there's going to be any DC things on here because, you know, all that DC is going to be over at DC FanDome, but maybe you can expect things like, I don't know, Godzilla versus Kong. That sounds certainly exciting. And see what else is there at Warner Brothers or in the other movies or anything that you want to see in regards to the genres, and definitely. So it's going to be exciting. Hopefully we're going to see a lot more content for other things other than DC there. But if you're here for DC, which I am as well, DC Movie News put this out. You can now ask questions for 2 secret films at the DC FanDome event. Yeah, 2 secret movies on DC FanDome? Wow. Okay, so, well, they're guessing it's New Gods. And so I'm looking at this. This is a scrolling thing. Now, I tried doing it myself, and I don't see it here. So you look through the topics, and the last thing you see is Zack Snyder. So I can't find it here. And judging from other people, Lightcast was able to find it on his own thing, and it says secret movie right here, secret movie 2. I'm guessing it works on some phones, some sites. I'm seeing yes and no from either side, so I'm not entirely sure. But if this is true, let's consider that for a second. What would it be? What would secret movie 1 be? What would secret movie 2 be? I don't know. I'm like, just, I don't know if it's going to be anything significant. I don't know if it's going to be a small movie or whatever. It could be Elastic Man for all I know. I mean, I'm still hoping for another Superman movie. I'm still hoping for, I'm still curious about New Gods, but that's not what I'm really hoping for. But I'm hoping for maybe a Cyborg movie. What if a Green Lantern movie, like a Green Lantern by, David Goyer, but the one with Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan in it, where Jon Stewart is like a younger Jon Stewart with the older Hal Jordan mentoring him. What could possibly be in Zack Snyder's Justice League? Maybe they'll spin that off to its own movie or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Or even the Batman, maybe Ben Affleck's Batman would be kind of cool. I don't know what the secret movie 1 and 2 is, but it does sound like they're pulling things out of the hat. They're going to be pulling things out of the hat at DC FanDome. So I'm going to be you should be very excited for that. I'm going to be very excited for that as well. So hopefully we'll get a lot more from DC FanDome, and I'm gonna probably stream, do a live stream reaction for that day. I don't know how the panels are gonna work or whatever, but maybe I'm just gonna have my thing on all day. I don't know, but on that day, I'm definitely gonna be reacting to a lot of the biggest things from DC FanDome. So that will be cool. Another con that's coming up this month. We are in that month. Justice Con is that month, including San Diego Comic-Con. But Justice Con, 25th and 26th, it is this month, getting closer and closer. And there's one more detail that finally showed up, and that is that Justice Con will be streaming exclusively on YouTube. That's right. Justice Con will all screw free just like San Diego Comic-Con, just like DC FanDome, it will be free when July 25th, 26th. YouTube live stream for fans, by fans. This is certainly really, really exciting. So do yourself a favor right here. Go to Justice Con. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell notification. Watch that trailer that came out recently. Second wave of guests. It's awesome. And oh, don't forget the featured, the hosts themselves, Nerd Queens and Wonder Meg. Be sure to subscribe to them as well. And get ready for Justice Con coming up the 25th and 26th. This will be definitely a fun time for fans, by the fans, and some of the great panelists are in store for this. More are coming soon. More will be revealed soon as we get closer and closer to July 25th and 26th. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing. I'll see you next time.